G'day guys, you are joining us for game number 3 between Microsoft and Facebook. Currently Microsoft stands at 2-0. Facebook are on the brink of their AHGL careers, being just dismayed, shattered before their very eyes for season number 3. Can they come back, Zepph?
They're going to have to win every game from here. It's going to be a tough one, but it's not out of the question.
Not out of the question. They'll have to win the next 2 games, and then they'll have to win the ace as well. So let's see. Let's jump straight in. Without further ado, game number 3. All right. In the bottom left, we have got Light Brigade from Microsoft, Protoss player. And in the top right, who we got here?
This is our Blue Zerg, John Oldman.
John Oldman repping that Facebook.
It's going to be an intense battle, fight to the death here.
He has the entire weight of his team on his shoulders right now.
Everything's on the line.
And he's up against a Protoss, and he's a Zerg. Dangerous times.
Yes. Well, I suppose we'll see how dangerous it gets. It could be Sky Protoss once again with tons of carries after we saw the success of it in the first game, or it could be something completely different. So it should be really cool to see if Light Brigade differs in the style of what we've seen so far.
Now, we have to take into account that the players do actually sit in lobby and watch the games as they unfold, or at least a few of them do. I know the captains do at least.
Yeah.
So they could be dropping some knowledge bombs for the players here. In case John Oldman missed game number 1, he knows perhaps to start preparing a little bit better than his teammate T-Stanky against the Air Protoss army. Maybe talking about, maybe discussion in between games like they like to do in team leagues. It's one of the coolest things about team leagues, is being able to talk to your players in between games and strategize a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
You get to sort of say, oh, well, maybe try this, maybe try that, maybe think about it. John Oldman going for a very standard opening here. This pull first, 15 pull. And Forge Fast Expand for Light Brigade.
Alright,
nothing out of the ordinary here. Going to have a bit of downtime, so... In the meantime, we would like to express that we've been having a very good time casting all these HGL matches. Very blessed and honored to have even a shot at it, so...
Yeah, it's been really, really awesome, and it's actually a huge leg up for us casters as up-and-comers to be able to get in some serious HOTS games, before it actually comes out, so that when it does come out, we're going to be all the more prepared. So the games we've seen so far have been pretty darn good, and that's not just in this series, but across all the ones we've done. So it's been a really awesome experience.
So people are going to see Gateway expand from Protoss and go, what the hell is this? And we'll be like, oh, please, it's standard.
Yeah. Yeah, we know it's up.
Please, we know it's up. We've seen enough HOTS now.
This is an old build. What are you talking about?
This is an ancient metagame. We're sick of it. Change it up. Where's Legacy of the Void? No, not really.
Yeah.
Ling's out for John Oldman. Just going to be looking for pylons. Just going to protect this natural here. Very important that comes up. And with the Forge up, there is a potential for Cannigan shenaniganry. No, Cannon shenaniganry. So it looks like, he's going to be just fine here. You don't want to cannon this hatchery, especially when the pull's been made first. You're just going to get all Lings up in your grill, queens in your face, all sorts of nastiness for the Protoss. Ooh, very fast third from Oldman.
I like how decisive he was there too. He wasn't like, do I take the bottom one? Do I take the top left one? Do I take the bottom one? Do I take the top left one? Nope, straight to that base. He knows what he wants.
He actually didn't even know if this was a Forge Fast Expand yet.
Yeah.
This is a very ballsy third.
Really nice job. Just knowing what he wants, knowing what his plan is for the game, and hopefully it is a game-winning plan since there's so much writing on it.
It needs to be for Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Now, the thirds we've talked about on this map a little bit before are quite difficult to hold on these maps. So we've talked about the possibilities of all-ins from Protosses for that reason, because it is slightly more difficult with a less mobile army for them to hold their thirds. But at the same time, Zerg, they don't generally have a third base out in the middle of nowhere. In the other Wings of Liberty maps and whatnot, they tend to actually be a fair bit closer and more defendable. So what do you think is actually going to come out from our Protoss player?
It's just looking very, very standard from the Protoss here. It's hard to say. He took his 2 gases here. He's getting a very large gas bank. So could definitely be Stargate play one more time. Possibly a DT Shrine again, like the last game. But I honestly can't say. Stalker first from him, and yeah, really, it's just nothing to report here from either player. Then one thing we can talk about is that John Oldman's taking this, I guess, more offensive expansion closer to his opponent rather than the one further away. But this one is a lot easier to defend against than this one. This third over here that I'm mousing over in the minimap, which you should be able to see because I have a very high resolution. There is it's just so far away from your natural and hard to defend. And while I say all this, Stargate does go down, so he's going to be spending his gas on a Protoss Air Army more time, just like his teammate, Wraith Lol. And Mothership Core is down and ready to get into business.
Yeah, we'll see just how much he actually commits to that Air Army, though. It may just be an opener that he transitions from into something else, or he may commit to it, so it should be pretty cool to see what goes on. But the Mothership Core is coming now. Is he going to send the other 2 units that he has on the ground right now? Would really love to see that for some harass.
Looks like John Oldman wants to try and sack an Overlord here to see any tech, but I don't think he'll be able to. In fact, the Stalker probably will kill it before he sees that Stargate. It's tucked away nicely in this corner here.
Yes, very nice.
Oracle is the first unit. Light Brigade, actually, the Mothership Core going straight for this third. Yep. I don't think it expected to see a third here, so it's just flying straight over it.
Yeah, he's kind of circling back now, but he needs to be decisive, either go in or go out, because that Queen is already working on it. All the shields are gone. That is 0 shields right there.
That's right. Took a couple hit points, hull damage there. No big drama. Yeah. Another Stargate going down for the Protoss player. Light Brigade definitely looks like he wants to get some heavy air play here. Another Trollicle. And
John Oldman has gone for Lings, in fact even getting the melee upgrade for those, so it looks like a Roachling army for the defense, and that may actually be a tool which he uses to be offensive.
Yeah, he might have to be, because he definitely can't be defensive with Roachling against what's coming at him, so he's moving across the map already with quite a few units. This is a lot of Lings. They don't have speed yet, but they will very shortly.
When he pokes in, he may be tipped off just before the Oracles arrive, because he sees no gas dump. There's no sentries or anything like that. This natural's quite wide open. Only Zealot and a Stalker. He does back off for now, though, until he gets speed perhaps. But the first Oracle, it is going to come in.
Here we go. Let's see how much damage this bad boy can do. He's got enough energy to kill quite a few drones. And the Queen is at the bottom of this hatchery. Good reaction time, though, pulling some drones. Already killed 5, though. And the Queen should be able to shoo it off, or possibly even kill it. It's just chasing drones here.
Zap, zap. Oh,
he looks like he's happy to sack this Oracle for the drones killed. And 8 drones was the number there. So, a couple Phoenixes heading into the main while this is going down. And this could be cool. Could get some Overlords here. Actually, the Overlords are in a position to be very, very harassable. They're over where there's no creep.
Yeah.
Queens won't be able to help them out.
I'm really loving this mix, actually, of Oracle Phoenix, because you can send the Phoenixes in one spot and let the Oracles do their thing in another spot. The only problem is that you kind of have to be microing on 2 fronts so that you don't lose stuff to spores. A nice catch on the Queen down here for Light Brigade.
And a third going down for Light Brigade in the meantime. Oh, losing a Phoenix there. The Hydras have popped. He has scouted that. So will he keep going with the air? Looks like he is. More Phoenixes being warped in, but also warping in some Zealots on the ground as well. And Hydra speed being researched very early here for John Oldman. Looks like he knows what's ahead of him. Doesn't want to make the same mistakes as Stanky.
This looks like actually a sick sort of counter for this Ling Hydra, but the Phoenixes are in play. The Zealots have chewed through all the Lings. Now there's no buffer for these Hydras, and suddenly they're going to be chopped apart by these Zealots.
Well, the Lings kind of, they did get shredded by the Zealots, but they kept the Zealots back. Meanwhile, the Hydras were spitting in their faces. And now the Hydras are actually in a good position to do a lot of damage here. They'll have speed very, very shortly, and they might even be able to retreat. Oh, with the Phoenixes lifting them up, though, maybe not.
These Phoenixes are just so strong. Maybe if there was some Roaches mixed into this composition, this could go a lot better for John Oldman. I still like the idea, though. Ling Hydra is doing quite a good job. Yeah. If these cannons weren't here, and maybe, say he'd hit like 10 seconds earlier, he could be in a lot more trouble.
That's right. And he's just going to make more Hydras. 11 Hydras on the way for John Oldman. Going to go straight pure Hydra by the looks of this. And getting that range upgrade for the Hydras as well. Going to become all the more powerful. And Light Brigade forced to remake the Mothership Core. Getting a Twilight Council. Possibly for +2, possibly for Blink. Possibly for Charge. All good options. In fact, with this Zealot count, I think Charge would probably be a pretty good idea. Especially considering those Hydras. Queen going to get picked off here. Maybe the Hydras are coming in and they want to get a couple Phoenixes.
It doesn't look like they're quite able to. The Hydra's not too happy about their Queen friend going down there because they need that creep to be even faster. I'm not too worried. There can be more creep dropped. I would like to see John Oldman get a few more drones here, and actually, just as I say that, he's actually made a bunch, so he's going to be in a really healthy economy, and he can start trading a lot more with Light Brigade. He does need a 4th base, though.
Light Brigade done a really good job here, getting rid of one of the chokes to his natural by piloning it up, which is cool. Lings aren't going to be able to get in through the back door for that bad boy. And all the Zealots here really defending this third. God, this third is locked down tight. It looks unzergable right now. And the Phoenix is heading across over the creep to see what they can get. But this is a huge Hydra ball. And I do! One Phoenix going down immediately. And they'll be going elsewhere.
Be careful.
Actually, this is a good position for the Hydras because with that muscular augments upgrade, they will actually be able to get between the natural and the third pretty quickly.
Yeah, definitely. And I still would like to see some roaches in there so that maybe he could be a little bit more ballsy and poking out there and trying to take out this third. But I have to say, Light Brigade is just playing beautifully in a defensive manner. I mean, I'm struggling to see a way that John Oldman could actually get in there, even though I have said maybe a few roaches would let him. I'm not sure that would actually still cut it. There's so many Phoenixes out.
There are, and Storm is going down for Light Brigade, which I think is a great reaction to the amount of Hydras he's seen. Hydras are made out of paper. They do die quite fast to Storms, as opposed to the Roaches. And it looks like he's going to attack directly from the north here on this third. He really wants to kill it. Will this be enough Hydra DPS? The Zealots actually getting killed very quickly by the Hydra. The Photon overcharge on the Nexus here, but is this too much DPS? The Phoenix is coming to join the battle. They're going to take a couple Hydras out of the fray.
That's exactly what they need to be doing, but is there just too much DPS from the Hydras? This Nexus looks like it definitely will go down. The Hydras are getting shredded in return, but he does take that base out.
Yeah, and the Hydras are getting picked up, but more Hydras reinforced, and these Phoenixes are starting to dwindle in numbers a little bit.
Wow, this is like the perfect timing from John Oldman, hitting just before Storm finishes. It is done now, though, with the Hydras finally getting some storms dropped on them.
Storm doing a great job against the Hydralisks here. It needs something else, though. The Templar are out of energy. They got one more Storm, maybe two more. There it is. Needs some Zealots or something, because these Templar are now getting killed. He doesn't want to lose Templar here.
Well, he does clean it up, and it was a great attack by John Oldman, but all in all, I have to say I think Light Brigade was a lot more cost efficient. The big problem is that he lost his Nexus, though.
Yeah, pretty huge blow to the economy here. Meanwhile, John Oldman's third is up and running still. No damage done to this, really, and he has spores already prepared in the main, natural, and third, so he's looking pretty good. In fact, the main doesn't have any spores, but the third and the natural definitely do. Carriers on the way for Light Brigade. He dropped the Fleet Bacon without us even noticing. And, yeah, fourth going down for John Oldman. But the Phoenix will scout that from Light Brigade. Yeah,
really great scouting from Light Brigade. These Phoenixes are just so useless. Use them defensively, offensively as a scouting tool. I mean, what more can you do with Phoenixes? They're just being such a great asset to his army right now. But at the same time, you know, John Oldman's really picked a good composition to try and deal with this.
I love that he's making roaches now.
Yeah, the fact that he's been a bit more aggressive than other Zergs have been in this matchup means that he's having a little bit of an easier time preventing the Protoss from getting that scary ball of units.
Now this Protoss ball is actually very killable by John Oldman's army. He needs to be careful here. Storm's going down, manages to micro away from that one a little bit. Oh, another nice Storm there. No units killed yet by the Storms. Only 3 Storms left for the Protoss. But now with the Roaches, the Archon and the Zealots aren't as strong. And in fact, Storm not that great against Roaches, so what can he get down before the carriers come out? Actually, some beautiful Storms here from Light Brigade.
Yeah, those units are actually getting pretty softened up. Looks like he wants that Nexus once again. He's baiting Storms very, very nicely and sending a few Roaches off by themselves. The carriers have been revealed.
Carrier time. Nice Storm and all the Zerg. Didn't even bother to micro away from that Storm. And does he have too much on the ground here?
Wow, looks like he does. He has hit him in the perfect timing once again just before carriers come out in that awkward tech switch stage. This is really nice moves from John Oldman, but how much is he actually going to be able to do?
Well, he's killed the Nexus once more, which is a huge blow against the Light Brigade, especially to lose that third a second time. That's actually quite devastating. He won't be able to keep up this production, really. He's starting to get a little bit low on the minerals here. Quite a nice, healthy gas count, but look at the Zerg bank. He is sitting pretty. In fact, the hatcheries have been pretty much untouched through this entire game. And one of the powerful things for Protoss to do is Warp Prism harassment, and in fact, more Oracle harassment, I think, would be a good idea. There are spores, however, but the main is sporeless, so could definitely do some damage.
Light Brigade is looking
Oh,
to take a
nice.
4th base at the same time, but this is the second probe that's going to get denied for this, and there is also a burrowed Ling there, so he's going to have to bring out some form of detection, which he doesn't have, I don't think. Does he have a robo or anything?
He doesn't, in fact, have a robo, so the only way to get rid of this Ling is to make a pylon and some cannons, so that's going to delay that 4th Nexus heavily.
He has a robo next to his natural Nexus, but he hasn't pumped anything out of there, I don't think.
There you go. Double Spire on the way for John Albin.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty awesome. It seems like he's learnt from the mistake of Tisenki in the situation, and he's going to power out those upgrades, make sure he has Corruptors a lot earlier, and that might be just what he needs to break him.
The creep is at the 3rd. In fact, the creep shim is right next to the Nexus. And
That's
it looks
brutal.
like, oh, I like this idea, taking down the rocks here.
Oh wow, he's actually 90 supply up. He's almost maxed out to
Oh my
100
God.
supply of Light Brigade. He's relying on this small air army to make it through.
Roach Hydra, guys. Roach Hydra.
Yeah.
Pretty good. They are just as fast as each other. The Hydra is tearing apart the Interceptors. In fact, the carriers are completely out of Interceptors, making one at a time isn't going to help him too much. And Light Brigade first to GG. Facebook taking game number 3 away.
Wow.
Comeback trail, perhaps.
Maybe.
Maybe, baby.
Very well done.
Very well done. So the Protoss air army can be killed. That game 1
Yes.
definitely made it look like it was quite strong. But gold. Oh, we saw the Zerg player there just do an amazing job. So props to him.
Yep.
Much love to Facebook. Hopefully they can tie it to 2-2, and then we'll get to see an ace match. Let's wait and see, guys. We'll see you in game number 4.